Hi, in this video, I'm going to talk about how to move around some energy when maybe you've picked up on someone else's negative vibes and you're finding a hard time shifting it. Or maybe you had a negative interaction with someone, or potentially maybe even just like a bad memory showed up and you just can't seem to shake it. It still is bothering you, and you want to be able to move away from it. So here are some things that you can do using your body to just grab that energy and release it. So one of the ones that I really like that I use on a pretty regular basis that's very fast and but effective is I just kind of grab my arm here at the very top of my shoulder, and then I just kind of briskly move that energy out and down through my fingers. And I do that on both of my arms until I feel like I've kind of released that energy. That seems to really help, especially when I'm in a pinch. I don't have a lot of time or resources. Another thing that you can do to help move around some energy is kind of visualize yourself grabbing this energy. Maybe it's like here on your neck or in the pit of your stomach, and just kind of visualize yourself grabbing that energy wherever it is and maybe bringing it to your center, bringing it to the core. I mean, just imagine grabbing it as like a circle, and then just grab it and release it out. And notice that I did it with kind of vigorously again. We want to be pretty forceful in getting that energy out. So grab it wherever it's stored in your body and release it. And you might want to do that a few times to release that energy. Another thing that you can do is use some of the elements. So you might want to have something like a rock, a nice, river rock by your desk or in your car, or, wherever it is that you might be needing to release some of other people's kind of negative energy. And just grab that rock, for example, and just kind of imagine again, putting all that energy into that rock and then releasing it. Now, I've had some people say, well, wow, poor rock, but here, the earth can compost that energy. And so, the rock can take that energy and make it into something beautiful and helpful. Another way, if you can go outside, is to go outside. It's best to probably do this with bare feet, but you don't have to take your shoes off and socks off. Just stand on ground. So like something like dirt, right? Or grass. We're not looking at like a paved parking lot or something, but put your feet on to be connected with the earth. And another great one is just to put your hands up on a tree and just let that energy just kind of just flow from your body and into that nice solid tree that has long, deep roots that can hold that energy and compost that energy. This is something that as a therapist, I do pretty often in between sessions with clients. I go outside and I just release that energy back to nature in this beautiful tree that I have in my backyard. So those are all really good, effective ways. There's others, of course. You can drink a cold glass of water, splash water on your face. But all of these kind of ways are great ways to just move that move that energy that you just don't want, and get it, just release it, right? But right now, I'm going to shift from all these little techniques and tips. I hope that you resonated with one or two. You don't really need that many to choose from, but maybe take note of one or two that really stood out to you from the ideas that I just shared. Oh, wait, before I do this, I wanted to also say just the power of imagination and creativity. A lot of times we discount how powerful it is. Oh, it's just my imagination. Our imagination and our brain, what goes on, what happens in there is very, very powerful, and it's very real to us. And so it's a great tool that we can use to help us with this. So one last kind of tip that you can use before I go into the guided part of this is, let's say you had just a kind of a not so positive interaction with someone, right? this isn't an ongoing problem. This is not, this problem that you've had, let's say, with your mom for years. I'm talking about, maybe a coworker that you don't really have to work with that often or something. And it just didn't feel great. And you're ruminating on it and you feel the tension, you feel it in your stomach and you just want to let it go. But what this person did or what they said or that look or whatever is just kind of hanging on, and you want to be able to let that go. So one really great way of doing of helping yourself let it go is using your creativity and just reimagining that scenario that you were in, and thinking, well, what would I have liked them to say, or how would I have liked to have responded? What could have been a better way for this interaction to have gone? And just let your imagination recreate the whole scenario with this more positive, calming, productive um, outcome and interaction. Now, I know you're probably going to be saying, well, that's not real. Well, it is real, though, to your brain, which then would be real to your body. And so I'm not giving here, suggestions on how to have a better relationship with your colleague, because maybe they persistently say some kind of weird things in these meetings and you'd wish that would change. Okay, well, that's not something we're addressing here. But how it's affecting you and your body and your productivity is what I'm focusing on. That negative interaction that you had with your colleague is now draining your energy. You're focusing on it when you could be focusing on other much more important and productive things in your day. So instead of just like, I want to just get that thought out of my head, which is really hard to do when you're forcing it, just go ahead and do some breathing, reimagine the whole scenario in a much more productive way, and you'll notice a shift. You'll notice some of that tension just being released. And then you can move on with your day and focus on the important things that you need to do and not focus on this colleague, right? For example. So I'm gonna then guide us in a little bit of a meditation here, and I'm going to just share my screen so we're not looking at me, and you can just really focus on your own um, your own experience here, and you can just hear my voice. So this is an activity that you can do to just kind of release anything that you don't need right now, that it's lingering in your body, um, that you just need to shift around. So go ahead and take a seat, and if you can, and connect your feet to the ground. This really helps us feel supported, which is really important, right? We all need to feel support. Take a few breaths here just to kind of settle your energy, ground your energy, and shift the focus from connecting with me and listening to me um, to really just connecting with yourself. Maybe even just notice where you're holding that tension in your body, if that's happening right now. Oftentimes we want to ignore it, but it won't just go away. So we're actually going to connect with it a little bit, give it some healing, let it just have an opportunity to be acknowledged and then to be released. I want to invite you to imagine a beautiful white golden light coming from the crown of your head. Now, this light is full of healing, it's full of calm, and it will gradually and slowly move through your body, lingering where it needs to linger, cleansing, and releasing. Imagine this light moving down your face, your neck, your shoulders. Let your body move if it needs to move. Imagine this light continuing down your chest and down your arms. You may even notice some of the light coming out of the tips of your fingers and releasing some tension. Imagine this light continuing down your torso, lingering where it needs to linger. Providing healing and calm to all the spaces in your body that need it. The light continues going down your seat, continuing down your legs. You may even notice this light now is a little heavy with what it's carrying, what it's releasing. And as it reaches your feet, just imagine whatever it cleansed, whatever it moved, whatever it released. Just imagine that light and everything you no longer need for right now, releasing that down into the earth. The earth can compost that energy. The earth is supporting you. Notice the shift in your body. Notice the release. If you're feeling like there's any sort of lingering tension, kind of a stubborn energy that is still lingering, put your attention there. Breathe into that. Breathe some of that white, golden, healing light into that space. And again, just imagine that energy released. Might even be a color that releases into particles. Just let your creativity guide you here. And before you connect with me back here, just notice. Notice what you were able to do for yourself. Notice the state of calm that you're experiencing. Notice the space that you just created. Space that you now have for other things in your life. Thank yourself for taking this time to connect with yourself and to move this energy that wasn't serving you. I hope you found this very calming. Okay, until next time.